I'd never been on a dog sled before. We did 2 days where we went out to, I'm pretty sure it was out here somewhere. I think it was CL Ranch, but just a different part of it. And we rode horses, and we did dog sledding, whoever had to do either or. I grew up on 170 acres riding horses, so for me that was the easy part, but it was still really lovely and enjoyable to jump on a horse and go for a ride. And you get to know people too, like Tim Blake Nelson and I got to know each other in those first 2 hours riding horses around together, and our characters know each other quite well. It's like, he's a cousin of Belinda Mulrooney's. And then the dog sledding was just a whole nother adventure. But I love animals, love animals. And what really struck me the most, which I was really unprepared for, I was a little bit worried about, having 10 dogs and being on a sled and having to get them to go and all of that sort of thing, that it would be a chore for them. But they were so excited and so happy and could not wait to get going. And they would literally run to the point of exhaustion. And when they weren't running, if they're up on the trailer, they'd be howling because they'd be jealous that the other guys were on, that they were in their pack and they weren't. And so it made me really, 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 really happy to get on that sled because the dogs were happy. And to connect with all of them, to learn their names, and they're all so different. And then, and then they become your pack as well, because they're not just dogs that you don't know. You get to know them. And it was amazing, incredible. I really loved it. The one thing that has been quite constant for me is feeling, what I've really loved about this role is not only is Belinda very grounded and centered and very present and very strong, feminine, ambitious and driven and all of these things, but like I said, she has a big heart. The thing that I've really loved personally is that I'm constantly challenged every day to be stronger than myself, wiser than myself, more intelligent, more business-minded. And so I kind of like what it's doing to me, because it's making me evolve as a person, because I'm pushing myself to these places, and I love that. I think as an actor, the most exciting roles are the ones that are interesting, challenging, rewarding, and also a wonderful collaboration and creative, but an evolution of self, because then you're invested in it. Something's happening, and so I have that, and I also have the collaboration aspect, because Simon's just amazing. And Richard is just pouring his whole heart and soul into his role, and it's just been wonderful. So I shot the first week up near Canmore, and then the second week they shot in Fortress Mountain, and I heard Fortress Mountain was a lot more tough in regards to the conditions, like the snow, and just they were up high and the altitude and everything. But that first week was very cold and very confronting, but I loved it, because it set a tone. It made me understand that world and what it would have been like to survive in it. In Dawson, the thing about Dawson is it started off quite cold, and we've been shooting a lot of nights. But most of the time we have to make it really muddy and really wet down the whole set. So even though today you see it's a bit drier, it's easy to walk on, most of the time you're walking around, everyone's got boots on and there's mud, above their ankles. But that's what it was like. That's this town. It was built right at the conjunction of two major rivers to sort of capitalize on trade. So it was perfectly situated to get all this, all the trade. But then it sort of started to boom into a little city because of location. Right under the mountain, right at the crux of the two rivers, right where trade and people were coming through. Perfect spot, but not really the most perfect spot in regards to the fact that it's like a swampland almost. I think I would hope that people will take away a lot. I think not only will people understand that time, the Yukon, Klondike, Dawson City, and the characters that are actually based on real characters get a little bit of a sense of, oh, okay, so Belinda Mulrooney, she did that. Oh, wow, what incredible thing for a woman of her time to do that. Oh, Bill Haskell, wow, what an amazing man he was, and wow, that's what it was like back then. Oh my gosh, okay, that's how things worked, and these are the facts. But at the end of the day, I think it's like, and Richard and I and Simon, we always say it a lot. It's like we're making a film. It feels like we're making a film. The focus, the detail, and the care and love and creativity that's being put into this is just amazing. And so I think that's going to come across. People are going to watch a really beautiful, epic story.